That's correct. Fix this and you will make more money than 99% of other traders out there. I'm talking about fixing your market structure. Now, as usual, we're going to go through another pair this week as we walk through how I mark up my market structures. In fact, I'm going to walk through a trade I'm in as well on the USD, taking off a daily time frame, just to show you that you can trade this on any time frame as well. So let's start off with a monthly time frame on the USD. And of course, if you want a pair of your choice in the next week's video, make sure to drop a comment below this video to let me know what you want to see. So let's start off with this structure. Okay, so we can identify from this high to down, we can see we're in a downwards trend. Okay, you don't need to have to mark out anything to see that. Visually, okay, we can see where the trend has been going. So what we need to understand is, where's the last break of structure? Well, it's this low in the market. That's my last break of structure on a monthly. This is where we see the market pulling back, okay, and that's where we see the breakout. So that means this is my high of my trading range, and this is my pullback phase. This becomes my low. So currently what we can see is that we had the market breaking structure downside, and we've been on a pullback phase. Now we could come deeper yet in this area. Okay, we want to look at whether we're inside from this swing high to this low of this range. We are just around about the 50% area. I prefer to see a pullback to the 50% above into this area to look for potential sells. But right now we have a bearish bias, okay, on the monthly time frame. Now you can easily and quickly mark this up. All you need is 3 lines to do this. Very simple, okay, and straightforward. Now, don't worry about these different candlesticks on the chart. They represent an imbalanced zone. If you want to learn more on how I look at imbalances, check out the playlist within the channel. I'll leave a link above for that right now. And if you want to learn more on how I mark up my areas of supply and demand, taking your trading to the next level, I do suggest checking out the Profit per Trade workshop. And I'll also leave a link above for that right now. And there's a link below in the description of this video. So let's head over to the weekly time frame now. So we know we're bearish, okay, already on that monthly. Let's zoom out. We can identify this is our pullback phase, okay, here on that monthly time frame. And it's also where we're going to be able to identify our structure on a weekly. So we can see we were bullish, okay, last break of structure to the upside, broke to downside, okay, we came back to the area here of supply, and the market is starting to shift back bearish. If we go closer into price, now, when I personally look at my charts, I will use the Forex.com charts. This is the Oranda. Not all brokers are going to be the same. I suggest to use the Forex.com when you do your actual analysis, when you're looking to take a trade. You can use these charts as well, but they're not going to be as accurate. Now, there's a actually break was here on the Forex.com. Let's mark this out. The reason I'm saying this is because on this price chart, the actual break is off this level. And the actual reverse would have to come off this level here, which we do, okay? But on the Forex.com, the break was up here, and then this was the breakout on this low here. Either way, it doesn't matter. We get our break of structure to downside, okay? This gives me my potential strong high in the market. And as we see a pullback here, this will become your week low. So you can see the market, okay, has just removed this level. We can see the market's pulled back into the area of supply, okay? We've created a reversal out of that area, and we started to shift, okay, bearish, okay? Creating areas of supply, the market's coming off. We're looking for a continuation to run this low, to continue to run this week low here in the market. So we now know that the weekly is also bearish here on the USD. Okay, so once you understand you're going with the monthly, going with the weekly time frame, we've seen that shift back bearish. We now know we're looking for those sales. Okay, so how do we look for that? We then drop down to the daily time frame, marking out your structures once again. We know that this is our break to downside. This is our pullback phase. We go closer into price. Okay, we start to look for where price is going to make that shift. Now, of course, if you want to learn more on market structure, okay, not just through these videos, but there's a full playlist in the channel. I do suggest checking it out. I'll put a link above now for that as well, if you want to check that out. So we see this is our last break to the upside. We had to break this low then, okay, which happens on this candle. We then have a pullback, okay. We have to break this low, which we do here. We have another pullback, and this becomes my low. So you can see how the market continues to shift towards the downside. That's how simple market structure is. There's no complex method, okay? I have a way of making it very mechanical as well. I have a way I use multiple time frames with market structure. Now, all of this is taught inside my new Novice to Pro Mastermind. Now, that's currently being rolled out to members, okay, within my pro community, part of the coaching experience. Now, if you want to be part of that training coaching experience, there is still some slots left. I will leave a link below in the description of the video for that, and there's a link above now. So if we just look at what happened here, let's mark this off. We mark off our reversal. Our last break of structure is this swing low. Okay, this is our daily break of structure. Then we have this is our trading range. This is our strong high within the trading range. And this becomes our weak low. So what we're expecting is a swing pullback, okay, looking for a reversal to run to this low. Now, I have a certain method that I use for sometimes for potential entries on a higher time frame. Now, I've taken a sell on the daily time frame here, but you can also look for reversals out on the lower time frames and look to pick up higher risk reward trades. I want to demonstrate today that this can be done on higher time frames as well. If we look at the actual pullback area, mark this out, that we've pulled back well above the 50% area, okay, inside premium area of pricing. The market's pushed up and eventually we push through this high. Let's mark this off as a daily sweep. But for me, there was nowhere I could look for a sell here, mainly because we had these big bullish imbalance candles. And remember that playlist in the channel will explain a lot more about imbalances. So once we had this, the market was above this swing high, okay, and we put in what I class a reversal entry. My actual entry I've taken here was off the close of this bearish candle. Okay, now I had a couple of targets in mind. My first target was to run this low. There's a reason why I'm expecting price to run this low after this candle closed down, and that's something that I teach inside that trading coaching experience. But it's a way we look at the price. You can see I've got nearly a 7-to-1 risk to reward if price takes out my final target at this swing low. Now I've taken some partials here to put me into a risk-free trade. It's all about taking risk off the table as quickly as possible. I'm looking to run this low next. Now on the way down here, we're going to see pullbacks, okay, with structure where we can look for a trade to continue to run towards this weak low on a daily. Okay, remember, we're also looking to run this low on a weekly. So we're going with the directional bias, okay, understanding market structure. Look, I love teaching this stuff because I know how important it is for you to understand how to read the markets. All of this is taught in much, much more detail within that trading coaching experience. If we go down to the 4-hour time frame and we start to see a pattern here, we can identify, okay, this is our pullback on the 4-hour. We make a shift and we start to run lower. So if we now just mark out our last area, we had, just check this break there. This was a break. Let's mark this out. This is where we saw that first reversal happening. But like I said, I couldn't look for a trade based on those imbalance zones we were seeing on the daily. The market then had to run this low. Okay, so we continue to be bearish. And then we run out higher. We run through this high. Then we've run this low. The market continued to lower. We pulled all the way back. Okay, there may have been a small break, I believe, here as well. Let's mark that out so you can see. We'll close it in a moment. So then we obviously pushed higher, broke through. Now this was another break lower. Now this area, you could actually look at this, you could close it in as one pullback phase. So I look at this as a full pullback, price pulls back in to the area of imbalance. Okay, here we put in a reversal area, okay, expecting price to run and fill this imbalance, which we did, and then we ran the low. Now, it's not a trade I took, okay, but it's a potential trade, could have been caught. We've broken structure. Now what we're looking for is another pullback, okay? So now we can mark out our swing high of this trading range. This is our pullback phase. This is our week low. Okay, so we don't need all of this other markings up, so we'll get rid of those. And we don't even need these ones here now. All we need is those last 3 levels. Okay, it's all you need on your chart. So we're looking for a pullback here. Now, for me, okay, understanding the use of swing pullbacks here, I want to see the market pull back really to run this swing high. Mark this out as a sweep here. I want to see be swept. No, price doesn't have to do that. Okay, we could just see a continuation lower to run this low. This week low has been formed. I will tell you in a moment exactly how this could happen, but I prefer to see, okay, a run up to take out this high, run through the 50% area into this imbalance on this candle, and then look for some kind of reversal to run this week low on a 4-hour. Personally, that's the way I like to look at my trading, understanding where we're going to see those sweeps in the market and areas of imbalances. And if you want to learn more on liquidity with sweeps, there's a full playlist in this channel. Check it out. I'll put a link above now if I've still got some spare links. So what I want to see is this area of imbalance holding. We're going closer. Okay, understanding our structure, we're bearish now on the 4-hour as well as the daily, as well as the weekly, as well as the monthly. If this area here can hold price, okay, this last area of imbalance, and we're going to push up, then we can start looking for those sales back down. Now, if price pushes through here, most likely we're not going to get that pullback and we'll just continue to run this low. Now, what could happen? We could have a sweep of this low and then have a pullback. Okay, price will never go in a straight line. So let's just look at this overall. We are bearish, okay, overall on all time frames. But I can zoom this out and you can see that we're bearish, okay, bearish, bearish. And if we go even further, I don't know if we can actually go far enough to see it, but we can't go far enough to see it. But there we have our weekly, okay, structure. We have our daily, and we have a 4-hour. So we're bearish, okay. There's no reason to be looking to buy this market at the moment. We're just looking for continuations lower. Now remember, like I said towards the beginning of this video, if there's a pair you want to see in the next video coming out, make sure to drop a comment below, okay, to let me know what pair you want to see. And if you want to learn more, okay, on that profitable trade workshop that I mentioned as well, there'll be a link popping up now for that. And make sure you watch the next video in this series. If not, go and watch one of those playlists that I mentioned throughout this video.